So hi everyone. Welcome to today's episode of Yield Madness, an interview series where we talk to the leading yield protocols, the most exciting yield and DeFi protocols in the space. And today we're proud to be joined by Equilibria, a close partner to Yala, a protocol that we work very closely with, and a source of, in my opinion, some of the most unique yield opportunities in the space. So yeah, hi, Murilo, head of or leading BD at Equilibria. It's a pleasure to have you here, and welcome.
Thank you very much. It is a pleasure for us to be here as well. We're very excited and hope that we can provide a lot of information for all the people who listen now or listen later. So thank you very much for the opportunity. Very excited.
Perfect. And I think on that note, let's dive into it. How about you introduce yourself and give a quick introduction to Equilibria and the journey that you're on?
Sure. So, yeah, as you said before, I'm the BD for Equilibria. And I think that we have a very, how can I say, very experienced team, spread around the world. So a very big community driven project where we try to provide as many options for whatever user strategies may be. We're very excited to share this information and provide as many options for yield returns and people, making extra money on their investment. So we now, hope that we can provide information here and get more people excited and spread the word.
Sounds good. It's perfect. That's what we like to hear, and that's what yield madness is all about. I guess the madness for the yield. So I think on that note, I guess let's take it back a little bit. Can you tell us about the history of Equilibria? What inspired the creation? What kind of journey has it been for you
Sure.
since launching?
Sure. Yeah. So, for those who are not too familiar with, Equilibria is a yield booster protocol, and we're built on top of Pendle. And what inspired us to, our main goal is absolutely to help those users to maximize their yields from both the liquidity that they provide as well as the Pendle tokens that they hold. So, like when we were talking about it, the issue that we saw is that everybody who's holding Pendle, they can lock their tokens for VE Pendle, and by doing so, they can earn fee sharing rewards. But if they're not providing liquidity, their returns are usually lower. At the
Mhm.
same time, the liquidity providers they earn a base APY, but to get those boosted yields, they also need VE Pendle. And that means that they have to split the resources between locking and providing liquidity. So when we got together and discussed as a team, what we decided to do was to solve this issue by allowing the users to convert their Pendle into ePendle and start earning rewards instantly, either through our native staking pool or ePendle boosted pool on Arbitrum. Plus, because Equilibria collectively hold significant share of the VE Pendle voting power, I think right now is up to 19% of all Pendle Gauge voting power. The LPs can use that power to boost the rewards by up to 2.5 times without having to lock or sacrifice, flexibility. So to make a long story short, we try to make it easier for both the liquidity providers as well as the holders to maximize yield with less friction and more efficiency. So that's the idea. That's where we came from when we got together and created Equilibrium.
Okay, interesting. Very interesting. I guess tied to that, what is the link between Equilibria and Pendle, and what did you find interesting about Pendle, and why build up the whole Equilibria protocol around Pendle?
Sure. So, like we have a pretty simple mission, which is to help the users get the most out of their assets within the Pendle ecosystem. In the DeFi world, one of the biggest challenges is efficiency.
Hmm.
So many users either they lock their tokens for governance power or they provide liquidity for yield, but rarely they will do both. And that creates a gap where people have to choose between boosting or earning, when in reality, they should be able to do both. That's what we believe. So we try to solve that by turning VE Pendle into a shared resource. The users can convert Pendle to ePendle and instantly start earning staking rewards, while the liquidity providers benefit from boosted yields using Equilibria's collective VE Pendle power, as I said before, up to 2.5 time boosts. And they can do that without having to lock or to have very complicated ways of reaching that goal. So yeah, the whole idea is to make the yield optimization very simple, efficient, and open to everyone at the same time that enables better returns from the assets that you already hold. And we saw, Pendle being the perfect partner to build on top of it to achieve exactly that mission. So that's where we kind of got together and came together to build on top of Pendle.
Okay, very interesting. So you mentioned Equilibria offers up to, did you say 2.5 times the return on
That's
the VE
correct. Yeah,
Pendle?
yeah, 2.5 times. Yes.
Okay, interesting. Can you walk us through, like, on a very basic level, how this works and how a user can go about earning this?
Yeah, so the 250 vPendle boost basically comes from how Equilibra manage its collective vPendle treasury. So, like before, like we hold around 19% of the total vPendle voting power, and that is what allows us to redistribute those boosts to our liquidity providers. So, when the users provide liquidity through Equilibria, they do not need to personally lock their Pendle or worry about managing boosts. Our system will automatically apply that VE Pendle power to their positions. And that's how you see yields going up to as much as 250 times, as I said, compared to what they would earn unboosted. So it's the same Pendle mechanism, but optimized and shared through Equilibrium structure. The non-reversible lockups is what keeps the protocol sustainable. So when users swap their Pendle into ePendle, that conversion is one way. Those tokens are permanently locked as VE Pendle inside Equilibria. And what that means is our VE Pendle power doesn't shrink over time. It actually compounds as more users join in. And this long-term lock model makes Equilibria's boost capacity more stable and predictable. It aligns the protocol, LPs, and stakers toward consistent yield growth rather than just the short-term farming or unlocked cycles.
Okay, interesting. Very interesting with the non-reversible, the lockup to ensure, I guess, stability and to avoid volatility in yield. Or what is the purpose of the non-reversible lockup?
Well, just before I go into this, I think that I left some information out for the people who are new to Pendle. So let me just go back there before I jumped into answer your question, just to
Yeah,
explain a
go for
little
it.
bit more about, like whoever is new to Pendle, like to explain a little bit how the ePendle works. So first of all, like Pendle is a yield trading protocol where, users can separate and trade future yield from their assets. Now, to get the best return in Pendle, you need to hold the V Pendle, which you get by locking your Pendle tokens for a long period of time. The catch is once your Pendle is locked, it's basically stuck there until your lock expires. That means that, as I said before, you lose liquidity and flexibility, and that's not ideal for most DeFi users because what those users want is both yield and mobility. So that's where we come in because we've created the ePendle, which is like the liquid version of vPendle. So instead of locking your tokens for months, you can just convert your Pendle into ePendle on Camelot for up to 42% discount and stake on Equilibria to start earning rewards right away. On top of that, because Equilibria holds a large treasury of ePendle, the liquidity providers on our platform automatically get that boost applied to their positions, and their yields can go up to as much as 2.5 times, as we said before, without the need to do anything extra. So the idea is to make it very simple, to get better yields, stay liquid, and let the system do the work for you.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. But then if you can repeat the other question, then I'll get back to that. That would be great.
Um, I guess it's somewhat answered before, but I guess touching on the purpose of the non-reversible lockup. Um, yeah, I guess the purpose for it, the motivation for it, and and how this works from a practical perspective?
Yeah, yeah. I think that we touched that a little bit earlier, but like just to say it again, like you see the yields growing up by 250%, as I said, and when you compare that to the unboosted, you see it's the same pendulum mechanism, but we just try to optimize and share through Equilibria structure. So if you think about, as I said, you make a deposit, and to make a as I one time I remember somebody asked me, how you explain that to a 5-year-old. It's like you put your money in a bank, and then you get like a receipt for it, and with that receipt you can do a variety of other things that the DeFi world will offer. And that's the idea, is that that we will do the work for you. You just need to lock up with us, and then we will offer a variety of strategies, because different people want different things or different returns, and then we'll just go from there. I apologize for the noise in the background here. I know somebody is using
No,
some
it's all
machine
good.
here, so I apologize for
Oh,
that.
no, it's all good. I can't hear it, so all good. Um, okay, interesting. Um, so can you talk a bit about the returns that you can earn for users, or the yields that a user can earn on Equilibria? So is it 2.5 x return? Is this a guaranteed return? Is this the top yield? Is this the baseline yield for a user on Equilibria, or how does the yield opportunities fluctuate across the platform?
So the idea is that, I mean, we have a variety of Pendle pools. It's a pretty huge number, and we so what is it is that you see, that we keep an eye on every yield source out there, and the idea is to maximize the yield. So the 250 is what we're currently getting. So it's what should be expected by using our tool and our DApp. That's what we try to achieve and to offer our users. So it's not guaranteed, but that's the goal, and that's what we've been seeing in the latest gauges. So that's what we're trying to achieve every time, 250%, and I think that's a pretty sexy number.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. It's a very good number, especially relative to yeah, to most DeFi protocols, I guess. I guess let's talk a bit about Yala. So Yala's integration into Equilibria. I think Equilibria has quickly become one of the core DeFi partners for Yala. Um, can you talk a bit about the Yala integration from your perspective, and what kind of,
Sure.
I guess, users you've seen into the Equilibria ecosystem based on Yala?
Sure, sure. So yeah, the integration with Yala is one that we're genuinely excited about it, right? Because it connects two ecosystems that share the same DNA, because both are focused on making yield more accessible and efficient. Yala brings like a DeFi marketplace built around Bitcoin-backed liquidity, while Equilibria specializes in boosting yields across Pendle using our VE Pendle power. So the partnership basically merges those two strengths. So if you take the YU pool on Ethereum, for instance, on Pendle, it shows around 10%, 6% without V Pendle. But through Equilibria, that number jumps to roughly 15%, which is quite a large upward. So on
Yeah.
top of that, users earn about 6 times berries from Yala. So you're stacking extra rewards while enjoying optimized yields, and that you can do all in one move. Uh, we believe that the best part is the simplicity, because Yala users can just deposit into the YU pool, and Equilibria handles all the backend boosting automatically. So that's what I said before, is try to offer like an easy life for the users. So, and for Equilibria, it's actually equally valuable, because we get to tap into Yala's community and deep liquidity base, which of course will strengthen our pools and expand our reach beyond the traditional Pendle crowd. So we see as a win-win situation, like both of us will win, because Yala users enjoy optimized yields with zero complexity, and we at Equilibria grow stronger by connecting new liquidity to a broader audience. So that's how we see that that's a good partnership.
Okay, it's very interesting. Again, I think two questions based on that. So you mentioned a traditional Pendle integration or cloud. Can you talk a bit about what you mean by this? Like, what is the typical, I guess, Pendle integration, and I guess how is Yala different from this?
So we think that Yala has like really proactive with the weekly incentives, and it's definitely been very effective. So the bribes or the whatever other features that there is, they play a big role when in directing more VL EQB voters towards their pools. That means higher emissions and different liquidity overall. So, to be honest, we've seen a consistent uptick in voter participation whenever Yala puts out free incentives or fresh incentives. It's a simple but powerful loop. You know, voters chase the extra rewards, the pools get more attention, and liquidity deepens as yield become more attractive. It's also great for the ecosystem because it keeps engagement high. And that's exactly what we want. We want more and more people to join in and keep using it and come back for more. So instead of having stagnant pools, what we're seeing is a more dynamic shifts in voting power week to week, depending on where the most lucrative bribes are. So yeah, the Yala's approach has worked well because it aligns incentives perfectly. Voters earn more, liquidity grows, and of course, Yala strengthens its position within the Equilibria and Pendle ecosystem.
Okay, interesting. It's good to know there are lots of synergies here between Equilibria and Yala and the Pendle ecosystem as a whole, I guess. And I guess to take it back one step. So if you're a new user or yeah, new to either Yala, Pendle, or Equilibria, you're listening to this space for the first time. What is your recommended course of action? What's the best way to get started to I guess explore the protocols and to begin earning these types of yields?
Yeah, that's a very important question, right? I mean, the idea is to get more people using it. So what we're trying to do is keep it simple and keep it basic. So if you're new and you're just getting started with Equilibria or Yala, I'd say that start simple. Go with the YU pool on Ethereum or Base, and it's probably the cleanest way to experience what both ecosystems are doing without getting into the more complex stuff like the VE Pendle locks or the governance right away. Which, of course, whenever you start getting more into it, of course, we recommend that you do that. But start simple. So the way to start simple is that you just deposit into the YU pool through Equilibria, and everything else will happen in the background. So our VE Pendle boosts will kick in automatically. The Yala layers on their 6 time bearers incentives, and your yield will instantly get that extra lift. So after that, once you get a good feel for it, then you can start exploring other boosted pools or even lock into the locking EQB for the VL EQB to join the governance and the bribes. Then it becomes even more sexy and even higher returns. But yeah, the YU pool.
How does one do this? Sorry to interrupt. How to join the bribes and the governance?
Yeah, so you can also check out the Equilibria and the Yala docs, but you can you go into our dApps, like equilibria.fi is the website, and then from there you can access the website, and then through there you can access the dApp, and then you have all the instructions on how to do that. And then when you do lock it in, you will see that every week there will be new pools to be voted. And of course, sometimes if you're not interested in voting yourself, you can sell your voting power by as much power you have accumulated by locking for long periods of time. And people will pay to use your voting power, if you will. And then they will pay you, and those bribes will vary. I think it goes like from money. We can go into more details later, but in short, that's a little bit of the explanation of how to go into that. Uh, but just going back to the simple thing is that the YU is just, will be the best entry point. We consider that to be entry points with low effort, solid returns, and really good intro to how Equilibria and Yala are working together. To make this yield optimization actually simple. And like I said, check out our docs. If you run into any issues, you can go into Discord or Telegram groups where we have a solid team that's out there to walk you through everything in a very seamlessly way.
Okay, good to know. Easy entry. I think we also have a full guide to Equilibria on the Yala blog and actually a YouTube video as well that complements this and walks you through exactly how to get started on the YU pool. So we'll share that again afterwards and hopefully drive some users towards this.
Great, cool.
I guess to go back to Equilibria, what's next? So let's say Of course, the industry is changing a lot. It's changing all the time. It's maybe the evolution of the vision for Equilibria has even changed, or the mission has changed maybe since you launched. But what's next for the next 6 to 12 months? What does that look like for Equilibria?
Yeah. So, over the next few months, it's really about tightening the collaboration, between us and Yala, making it smoother for the users and expanding the Yala pools that we support. So right now we've got the YU pool live, but we're also looking to extend that boost model to more assets in Yala's ecosystem. And the idea is pretty simple, to provide more options, but stay, simple, the same seamless experience, provide the user experience to be the easiest as possible for the user. And of course, we're always keeping an eye on how users interact with both platforms. So this way we can refine the flow, make it less friction, provide better yield tracking and easier rewards. And that's why I urge everybody to join our Discord or Telegram groups and provide feedback, because we make all the adjustments and fine tunes on the app based on the feedback that we get from the community. We're a very community driven protocol. So it's not necessarily about adding a ton of new stuff all at once, but mostly just improving what works and then scaling it smartly, because we know that, this is a long run. We're here in the marathon process, not like 100-yard dash. So the idea is to see,
Yeah.
what's working, provide, explanation, provide a lot of information so people can make informed decisions, educate themselves, and then that's how we believe that the words get spread out. So that's the plan that we have for the next, 12 months.
Okay. Interesting. That's good to know. It's yeah, community focused. I think similar approach to what Yala is taking. Do community focused, slow iterations, but constant iterations, and just improving the experience for the users.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Are there any exciting trends in DeFi that you're looking at, either personally or from someone wearing the Equilibria
Oh,
glasses? Is there anything that, I guess, a change of direction that you think is interesting?
yeah, yeah. I think so. I think that we all share, like me personally, as well as the whole team. Like we talk about it and we share the same views. Like I think that one of the main things that we're very excited about is the composable DeFi across chains. We think that by next year we will see huge strategies that aren't necessarily stuck on one protocol or one chain. So we believe that you will be able to stack boosts, gauge votes, and rewards across multiple networks automatically. So that would be, pretty exciting things that we see coming forward. And then I think that also, look out for real world asset integrations, tokenized credit, revenue streams, even Bitcoin backed liquidity flowing into the DeFi world in a way that's very transparent, liquid, and programmable. So, also like one final thing that we can touch is automation. Like right now, people chase boosts, bribes, and gauge votes manually. So we think that the next wave will have protocols handling that in the background. So the users just plug in their assets and let the system do all the work and optimize their returns. So composability, real world assets, and smart automation. That's the combo that's going to define the next cycle of DeFi in our opinion. And we're very excited about it because we feel that the future is pretty bright.
Yeah, it's very bright. I agree with you. Just to touch on this quickly, it was very interesting what you mentioned with the smart automation. Is that, I guess, the evolution of Equilibria, or is it a project or a protocol that's built on top of Equilibria, or how do you see this take place?
Well, this is something that we're currently working on. So the automation is something that will be seen on Equilibria. And I think that the idea is that, like I said before, we're trying to provide as easy a life with the best return possible to our users. So the idea is just to improve the user experience, and so we're trying to bring it on board to make life easier for the user. That's what we want to do. So then you can offer a variety of options, a lot of returns, because if every person will have a different strategy and we will have different goals and different timings and so on. So what we try to do is try to offer like the most as many options as possible, the easier possible safely. We're very focused on security as well. So, but it's just an idea that we want to push forward. So just everything for the users.
Interesting. I like that. Yeah, I like the approach to the mentality a lot. So I'm looking forward to watching this come to life.
Absolutely, absolutely, and you can see more and more, like you see how artificial intelligence so popular. So we see that it's becoming more and more popular. So automation, artificial intelligence, that's going to play a bigger role every day that goes by. So we want to be on top of that as well. To make sure that we're maximizing whatever we can offer. To like I said before, and sorry to be so repetitive, to provide the best user experience possible with as many options as possible.
It's yeah, it's very true. Is AI something you're working on incorporating now, or is it, I guess, still a few months or I guess years away? Yeah, how do you see this come to life?
No, for now it's an idea. We're discussing it, we're talking.
Yeah,
So I mean, if we keep the focus in, so we're monitoring the market. We're trying to see everything that's happening. So we keep an eye on it because we know how big a role it's playing more and more. But for now, it's just an idea. So we for sure, like we want to keep up with the market. Whatever we've seen. So we're analyzing on a daily basis everything that's happening now. Catch the trend, be able to provide all the options whenever we feel that they are the best way for the user. So for now it's the idea that we're working on.
yeah, for sure. But slowly but surely, it all comes to life.
Absolutely, that's a good motto. Slowly but surely, always moving forward, one step forward, never backwards.
Exactly. And I think on that note, I think it's that's a perfect way to end it. It's just on time, so we don't take too much more of your time. Um, I think thank you so much for joining us today and talking to us about Equilibria. Is there anything we've missed, or any last comments or words of advice to the
Well,
listeners?
I'll be repetitive again, but I say, check out our social media, join our Telegram and Discord groups if you have not yet. Whatever questions, sometimes people get shy coming up here, be a speaker. So, our mods are there waiting for you guys and take you through step by step. Get your feet wet, get going, tell your friends. I think that we're all in the same boat and we all want the same thing, which is to get more and more people to adopt this amazing DeFi world that has so many options. We still think that's very early stages. One final thing that I just like to say to put everybody's mind at ease, as cliche as it may sound, but please know that Equilibria, as at Yala, we're very focused on security. So we have all the security measures in place, so you guys feel safe that your investment will be well managed and well taken care of. No risks, no problems. So check out our social media, talk to the people, spread the word, talk to our groups, and get going. Try to invest as much as possible. So that would be great. Thank you very much. It's been a great opportunity for us.
Perfect. Great way to end it. And yeah, thank you so much. And we'll share some links to Equilibria and yeah, to your socials and to your docs, so we can drive some users towards yield farming on Equilibria.
Thank you very much.
So,
We really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you very much, everybody.
yes, thank you so
Bye bye.
much. Take
You
care.
too. Bye bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye bye.